Imagine a boy born in a small farming village. No electricity, no proper school, no medical care. He works in the fields 17 hours a day just to earn one basic meal. Now imagine this same boy growing up to build a multi-billion-dollar car company, selling millions of cars in the United States and competing with brands like Ford and Toyota. This is the real story of Chung Ju-yung, the founder of Hyundai. Chung Ju-yung was born in 1915 in what is now South Korea. At that time, Korea was one of the poorest regions in the world. Most people survived through farming, and Chung's family was among the poorest. Chung's family was extremely poor, even by village standards. From a very young age, he understood what hunger felt like. There were days when the family worked all day but still went to bed hungry. As a child, Chung had a simple dream. He wanted to become a school teacher. He believed education was the only way to escape poverty, but his family had no money for school fees, books, or uniforms. So Chung dropped out of school early. Instead of learning from books, he learned by working. From sunrise to sunset, he worked in the fields with his parents and siblings. The work was physically exhausting, but the reward was very small. Life was extremely hard. Even after working all day, there were many nights when the family didn't have enough food. Clothes were old and torn. Medical treatment was something they could not even think about. Sometimes, Chung traveled to nearby towns to sell firewood. That's where he saw something that stayed with him forever. He saw people who had regular jobs, people who had enough food, people who had clean clothes, people who didn't have to spend their entire day farming. They weren't necessarily rich, but they weren't trapped. That difference stayed in his mind. Chung slowly realized something important. Hard work alone does not change your life. You need the right kind of work. One day, while reading a newspaper, Chung noticed a small advertisement. A construction site in a nearby city was hiring workers. For Chung, this wasn't just a job, it was a way out. In 1932, when he was only 16 years old, Chung made a risky decision. He decided to leave his village and go to the city. One night, he quietly left home with a friend. They walked nearly 100 miles, sleeping on roadsides, surviving on very little food. Eventually, they reached the city and found work as construction laborers. Chung found work as a construction laborer. The work was extremely hard. He carried heavy materials, worked long hours, and earned very little money. But something was different this time. For the first time in his life, Chung was earning his own money. For the first time, he felt independent. Those 2 months in the city changed the way he thought about life. Unfortunately, his father found him and brought him back to the village. His family was happy. Chung was not. He now knew one thing very clearly. If he stayed in the village, his life would never change. Chung tried running away again, and again. Each time, his father caught him and brought him back. Finally, in 1934, at the age of 18, he escaped for the 4th time. This time, no one stopped him. He made it to Seoul, the largest city in Korea. Seoul was loud, crowded, and overwhelming. Chung had no education, no connections, and no savings. So he took whatever work he could find. He worked at construction sites, he worked in factories, he delivered goods on foot. Eventually, he got a job at a small grocery business called Bokyong Rice Store. At first, he was just a delivery boy, but Chung treated this job differently. He showed up early every day. He stayed late. He treated customers honestly and handled money carefully. People began to trust him. The store owner noticed this dedication. Within 6 months, Chung was promoted to manager. In 1937, something unexpected happened. The shop owner fell seriously ill. Trusting Chung completely, he handed over the entire store to him. At just 22 years old, Chung became a business owner. For the next few years, Chung worked harder than ever. He expanded the business, built strong relationships with suppliers, and earned respect in the local market. For the first time, life felt stable. But then, everything collapsed. This was the time of World War II, and Korea was under Japanese occupation. Japan needed rice to feed its military, so it took control of rice businesses across Korea. Chung's rice store was seized. In one decision, everything he built was gone. Years of hard work were destroyed overnight. Chung was deeply disappointed. But instead of giving up, he thought carefully. He realized that any business controlled by the government could be taken away, so he decided to start something different. In 1940, Chung borrowed 3,000 won and opened a small car repair garage. It was a risky move, but Chung believed in it. Just 1 month later, disaster struck again. A fire broke out and burned the garage to the ground. He lost everything. Again. Still, Chung refused to quit. He borrowed more money, rebuilt the garage, and changed his strategy. He focused on speed. He made sure cars were repaired faster than anywhere else and focused on one simple idea: faster service. While other garages took weeks, Chung finished repairs in days. Customers noticed. Business grew rapidly. Within a few years, his garage employed dozens of workers. He paid off his loans and moved his family to Seoul. Then, once again, war destroyed his progress. Japan seized his garage and merged it into a military operation. Chung lost his business for the second time. After World War II ended, Korea was divided into North and South Korea. In 1946, Chung returned to Seoul and restarted his business with a new name, Hyundai Auto Service. The word Hyundai means modern. Soon, Chung noticed something important. The U.S. military was building roads, bases, and warehouses in South Korea. They needed fast, reliable construction. He saw a huge opportunity. In 1947, Chung started Hyundai Construction. During the Korean War, Chung escaped to the southern city of Busan. Even during war, he saw opportunity. The U.S. Army needed tents, warehouses, and headquarters, and they needed them fast. He followed one simple rule. If Hyundai promised a job, it would be finished, no matter what. This reliability earned Hyundai contracts from the U.S. military and the South Korean government. Despite losses and risks, he never abandoned a project. His reliability earned him the trust of the Americans. After the war, Hyundai played a key role in rebuilding South Korea, constructing dams, roads, and expressways. By the 1960s, Chung was a successful construction tycoon. But he wasn't satisfied. He believed, "I have built the roads. Now it's time to build the cars that run on them." In 1967, he founded Hyundai Motor Company. At first, Hyundai worked with foreign companies like Ford. But when these companies refused to share technology, Chung chose to move forward alone. In 1976, Hyundai launched the Hyundai Pony, the first mass-produced Korean car. It became very popular inside South Korea. However, the early years were difficult. Internationally, Pony failed. Hyundai's first cars had quality issues. The company lost money for 7 straight years. Many people advised Chung to shut it down. Instead, he made a bold move. He built a massive factory designed to produce hundreds of thousands of cars every year. He was betting on exports and future growth. In the early 1980s, Hyundai entered the U.S. market with the Hyundai Excel. The car was affordable and came with a long warranty. American consumers noticed. Sales increased rapidly. Just within 2 years, Hyundai sold 530,000 cars in the USA. Within just a few years, Hyundai became one of the best-selling imported car brands in the United States. Hyundai had arrived. At the age of 72, Chung Ju-yung retired. Today, Hyundai is the world's 3rd largest car company, with 42 companies under its group, from automobiles to shipbuilding. But more than that, Hyundai didn't just build cars, it rebuilt a nation. Hyundai helped turn South Korea from a poor farming country into a modern industrial nation. And it all started with a village boy who had nothing, except courage, vision, and an unbreakable desire for a better life, who refused to accept the limits of his birth.